Hello and welcome to this practice. This practice is essentially about Abhyasa and Vairagya, so that consistent effort or steadfastness, or sometimes also known as our return to essence, and Vairagya, which is non-attachment or non-striving or letting go, and in this instance maybe letting go of that misidentification of the truth of who we are, our essence. And we're going to do this through the exploration of the head to tail connection, or the spine, and a lot of repetitive movements, because if I think about Abhyasa, it is that consistency, it is that showing up for ourselves again and again and again. And by showing up again and again and again, we strip away the layers that prevent us from seeing our truth. Okay, so find a comfortable seat to begin. And just take a moment to notice where you naturally sit. So for some of us, that will be more in the front body, sort of slightly leaning forward. And some of us, it might be a little bit further back. But generally speaking, a lot of us tend to be a little bit more in the forward part of ourselves, always in that next moment. So now see what it's like to just lean back a little, feeling the support of the spine, almost like the spine is like the back of a chair holding you up. And bring awareness to the crown of the head and the tailbone, and an imaginary line between those 2 points. And a line, a tube of light, if you like, that sits just in front. Visualize at the crown of the head a silvery full moon, the brightest full moon you can imagine. And at the tailbone, imagine a bright red scarlet bindi or point. And as you breathe in from that bright red point all the way up to the silvery full moon at the top of the head. And then exhale from the top of the head all the way down to that bindi at the base of the spine. The breath in travels up that imaginary line sitting just in front the spine, and the exhale from that silvery full moon down to the base of the spine. And just continue this breath exploration. And throughout this practice, really tuning into how the breath moves up and down the spine, up and down this line. This is Shumna Nadi. The next time that you exhale, feel that exhale going down through your sitting bones into the earth, almost like you are rooting yourself down into the earth, growing roots deep into the earth. And like seaweed planted on the ocean floor, feel the gentle ocean currents start to sway your torso side to side in a kind of snake-like fashion. So starting right down at the base of the spine and traveling all the way up to the crown of the head. And this can be whatever it means for you. So it doesn't need to necessarily look like me, but what does it feel like to imagine yourself like seaweed, moving and swaying with the ocean current? Allowing the movement to be soft. Noticing anywhere that you might hold rigidity. And then eventually making your way back to the center point, crown of the head, tailbone on top of one another. And then starting from the tailbone, scoop under, follow that up through the lumbar spine, the upper back. Your chin will be the last thing to tuck in. And then from the tailbone, send the tailbone back, send that into the low back, the chest. Your chin arrives last in kind of that cow shape. Tailbone then scoops under to begin the journey back to cat. And then tailbone initiates the journey back to your cow. And just continue with this exploration, letting the tail lead the way. And the rest of the vertebrae slowly follow along. And in the repetition, perhaps finding some softness, some fluidity. Noticing how the breath is helping facilitate this motion. And then we're going to reverse the motion. So starting from the head now, tuck the chin in and then round into the upper back, the lumbar spine, tailbone is the last to come under. And then the chin leads the way forward, all the way back to your cow. Chin tucks in to find that cat. And chin leads the way into the extension. And then continue with this. And feeling and sensing that fluid motion of the spine again. Do one more. Then rock back off your sitting bones, free your legs and start some astronaut abs, rocking from one butt cheek to the other and using your limbs to support the balance. And noticing your limbs, just this extension of the spine now. Playing with how far you can go. Being really curious about it. And then switch which leg is in front. And this time imagining that you're pouring liquid from the crown of the head all the way out into a cup beside you, and the spine will follow and the arm will eventually follow too. And then the tailbone heavies down towards the earth and each vertebrae stacks on top of the next to bring you upright. And then pour the liquid the other way. So imagining that your spine is this liquid substance being poured down towards the hand. And as you rise up, that sense of really stacking each vertebrae on top of the next, heavying the pelvis to rise up. And it doesn't have to be in time with me, just finding your rhythm, but seeing if you can find that, again, fluid nature of the spine, of this motion. And it might feel nice to stick with this, or you might add a little rotation towards the floor and then opening back up, stacking each vertebrae on top of the next before tipping to the other side. Now, if you're doing the rotation, get curious about where you begin that rotation from. Is it the tailbone? Is it the head? Is it the sternum? Is it the hand? Noticing when you start to anticipate and maybe move before the head. And complete one more. And then bring the feet out in front of you. Your arms forward. Scoop the tailbone under. Let that start to roll you down. Go about maybe 3/4 of the way. And then tailbone is going to flick back to draw you up as you open the wings. Tailbone scoops under as you roll down. And then start and initiate the action from the tailbone to come up. So if you're familiar with the terms, it's posterior tilt as we come down, and then an anterior tilt to bring us up. And otherwise, just focusing on that tailbone movement and trying to soften through the ribs and the spine. So think less about trying to get anywhere with this and more about just softening and allowing that unfolding. Good, and then rise on up. And cross the ankles, come up and over, tuck your toes and come into a variation of our tabletop. You can come up onto the fingertips if you like, or have your palms flat on the floor. Then from the tailbone, start to lift the tailbone, send that into the lower back, the upper back, the chest. The chin is the last thing to arrive. Start from the tailbone as you scoop under and roll along the spine. Chin will be the last thing to arrive. Tailbone begins the journey out and into your cow. And then tailbone begins the journey back in, folding in. And continue repeating this. So noticing the repetition in each motion. And that repetition allows us to really study the self a little bit more. So the movement doesn't change, but we change within it. And this is this idea of Abhyasa, consistently showing up for the practice again and again and again, stripping away those layers, those stories that prevent us from seeing the truth of our being. Good, and then coming up to tabletop. And just letting your spine move however it wants to. Maybe that's a sort of seaweed spine, maybe it's a barrel roll, maybe it's cat and cow. And don't try to think about it too much, really just feel the sensation of the spine moving, the breath moving along the spine. And so often we get caught up in our heads with right or wrong, good or bad. And then eventually make your way downward facing dog. And just check out, is the crown of the head and tailbone in alignment, or have you dropped the head all the way through the gate of the arms and kind of broken at the neck? See if you can find that energetic line, tailbone to crown of the head. And then tiptoe your way forward to the top of the mat. Soften through the knees and slowly start to roll up, stacking each vertebrae on top of the next. As you rise up, send the hips forward, sweep the arms back as the chest and the chin lift. And then like a wave cresting, arms come up and over as you fold back down. And then do that again. So just these wave-like folds. Feeling each vertebrae stack. Noticing how you're using the breath to unfurl. The next time that you fold over, step your left foot back, lower the knee down. And this is where you might want that block. Starting from the tailbone, scoop under, ripple and roll that along the spine so that the chin is the last thing to arrive in your low lunge. And then tuck the chin and roll it back through the spine, sending your hips back, peel the toes up, half split. Start from the tailbone, a little bit harder in that half split position as you unfurl and come forward. And then start from the chin as you roll it back through the spine into your half split. And then continue with this exploration, seeing how mindful you can be of that movement along the vertebrae. And the next time that you find yourself in half split, pause. Left hand either on the block or the floor as you take your right arm to the sky. And again, you might check out that energetic line from crown of the head to tailbone. Maybe subtly moving the tailbone side to side or the chin. Maybe even the spine. Then swing the left shin bone around, sweep your right leg out and up into your modified half moon. Kick the heel to your butt and catch the foot, and then kick back for Chapasana variation. And then feel the chest open, the hips press forward. Release the foot, plant it down and reach by your ear. Push down into the right leg so much, maybe that left leg can float up. Awkward Vashisthasana. Step the foot in behind, roll to plank position. Drop the knees to the floor, lift your sitting bones, chest and chin, now come down between the thumbs. And then from the tailbone, ripple and roll along the spine, cobra pose, hips come down. Tuck the chin, roll it back. Extended child's pose with the toes tucked. And then lift your sitting bones up and back, downward facing dog. We're going to do those rippling cobra rolls a few more times. Lift up your heels, ripple and roll forward, plank. Knees drop to the floor, lift your sitting bones, chest and chin between the thumbs. Ripple and roll along the spine, pelvis comes down as the chest lifts, cobra. Tuck the chin in, roll it back, tuck the toes, extended child's. And then lift the sitting bones up and back, downward facing dog. Ripple and roll forward, plank. Knees drop to the earth, lift your sitting bones, chest and chin comes down. Ripple and roll along the spine, cobra. Tuck the chin and roll it back, extended child's. And then up, downward facing dog. Float the right leg to the sky. Scoop the tailbone under and ripple and roll forward, knee to nose. Send the leg back, three-legged down dog. Tailbone scoops under, ripple and roll forward, knee to nose. Send it back, three-legged down dog. Tailbone scoops under, ripple it forward. This time step between your hands and sweep the right arm to the sky for easy twist. And again, just checking out, crown of the head, tailbone, that energetic line. And then step forward and fold. Soften through the knees and slowly roll on up. Hips will go forward as the chest lifts, arms sweep back and around. And then fold. Again, unfurl. Hips go forward, arms sweep back, up and around. Two more times. Find your own rhythm with this. Let go of the look, the outward appearance, and go with the feeling. Really sense and feel you're like a wave. Next time you fold, that right foot will step back, lower the knee. Catch your block, and then from the tailbone, scoop it under as you ripple along the spine. Low lunge, tuck the chin, and let the chin lead the way back. Half split, toes to the sky. Scoop the tailbone under, send that rippling action along the spine. And then tuck the chin and roll it back. Half split. And keep going between these two shapes. And notice how it's a little bit more challenging to get that movement through the spine. It becomes a lot more subtle. But really bringing all of your awareness. Where awareness flow goes, prana follows. Seeing if you can feel, even just those micro movements through the tailbone, the spine. The next time that you're in the half split, pause, plant the right hand down or on the block and take the left arm to the sky. And then take a moment, maybe sense and feel that energetic line. Maybe that's a little bit of movement, adjusting the tail, the head. Sweep the right leg out and sweep your left leg out and up. Bend at the knee and catch the foot, Chapasana variation. Kick into your hand as you screw that right hand into the floor. Beautiful. Release the foot, plant it down, reach by your ear, and then push down so much that that right leg sweeps up. Awkward Vashisthasana. Step the foot in behind, roll to plank. Drop the knees to the floor, stick the butt up, chest and chin come between the thumbs. Ripple and roll along the spine, hips come down as the chest lifts, cobra, elbows hug in. Tuck the chin and roll it back by your extended child's toes tucked. And then lift the sitting bones up and back, downward facing dog. Ripple and roll forward, scoop the tailbone. Knees come to the earth, chest and chin between the thumbs. Scoop the tailbone, ripple and roll along the spine, cobra. And then tuck the chin and roll it back, extended child's. Hips lift to the sky. Lift the heels, ripple and roll forward. And drop the knees, lift the sitting bones. Chest and chin down. Ripple and roll along the spine. See if you can find softness in the repetition. Rolling it back, extended child's. And then downward facing dog. Then you choose one more or just hold your down dog. Then left leg floats to the sky. Scoop the tailbone under and ripple and roll forward, knee to nose. Send it back, three-legged down dog. Tailbone scoops under, ripple and roll forward, knee to nose. Send it back, three-legged down dog. One more time, ripple and roll forward. Step between your hands. Right hand grounds, left arm to the sky, easy twist. Find that energetic line again between crown of the head and tailbone. And then step forward and fold. Reversing our wave-like action this time. So start to lift your chin, lift your butt. You're coming up kind of like via a halfway lift. Keep leading with the back of the heart as you trace up your legs. And then hips go forward as you tuck your chin and roll down the front of the body. And again, head lifts, butt lifts as you lift up. Coming up, extended, and then tuck the chin as you roll back down. Let's do a few more. So this might feel a little more comfortable for some of you. This might feel a little more clunky. Again, try and let go of what you think it should look like and start to really come into the feeling of it. And as you come into that halfway lift position, pause. Plant the hand, step your left foot back, and then rise on up. And just make sure that you've got a good base of support. So we're going to move our spine just like we were doing. So you'll tuck your chin, roll down the front of the body, forwards and up. Now you can keep your hands alongside, or your arms can do the movement too, or they can do whatever you want them to do, really. But notice how your arms and your legs are now helping to facilitate this motion. So that real sense of leaning into the legs, using that back leg as a little power point. And then stop wherever it feels interesting for you. And that might be different to where I've just stopped. Notice what's interesting about it for you. Is it the legs? Is it the spine? Is it the opening? And then wherever you are, leading from the crown of the head, so if you're a little bit more upright, you're going to have to tuck your chin in first. If you're a little bit more down, you're going to have to lift your chin. The crown of the head is going to lead you forward and into warrior three. Really feeling like there's a string on the crown of the head drawing you forward. And now feel that string on your tailbone pulling you back to land the foot down and open to warrior two. Flip your front palm and reach forward. And then spiral and reach back. And so we often do this as a rib shift. But for today, see if you can do it from the tailbone. So letting the tailbone lead the way and then the spine follow. And then again, your arms might kind of just morph into an expression of your spine. Don't think about it too much. Just think of tailbone leading the way and then sending that motion all the way along your spine. Ooh, got too excited. And the next time that you reach it forward, reverse the warrior. Just hold stillness for a moment, feeling the echo of that wave-like motion. And then circle down and around towards extended, but don't stop, keep going. So now this kind of circular arc through the spine. And the arms can do whatever you want them to do. Let them be that further expression of the arm, the movement, the spine. And the next time that you're coming forward, put the left hand on the block, lift your left leg up, right arm to the sky, revolved half moon. Bend the knee, reach back, catch your foot and kick up, Chapasana. Then crown of the head reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. And then fold in, crown of the head to tailbone, knee comes through, let go of the foot and slowly roll on up, knee to chest. Right hand catches the thigh, left arm sweeps back. Stork twist. Release the foot to the floor, Tadasana. Soften through the knees, tuck the chin, roll down. Extend the spine as you come up. So those reverse waves again. Tuck the chin as you roll down. And extend as you rise. Tuck the chin and roll. Extend. This time we're going to stop in that halfway lift position. And then step the right foot back this time and slowly unfurl to that crescent position. And you're welcome to shorten the stance. And then tuck the chin in and begin those spinal waves again. Let your arms and your legs just facilitate the motion. Really thinking about where you start and how you send that energy through the legs, through the spine, through the arms. And then again, stop where it feels interesting for you, and it might be somewhere different on this side. Don't feel like you have to stop the same as you did on the other side. Notice what's interesting about it on this side. And then wherever you are, crown of the head is going to lead you forward. So that might be a little tuck in to reach forward. Might be a lift up, but crown of the head is pulling you forward into warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. And then that same energy through the tailbone pulling back to land the foot and open warrior 2. From the tailbone, start that wave side to side, letting your arms just be an expression of that snake-like quality through the spine. Allowing each repetition to be a chance to soften again, to release rigidity, to release thought, to allow yourself just to be curious and playful. And then reverse the warrior. Pause for a moment, feeling the echo of that. And then circle down and around and create these big circular motions through the spine. And again, allowing softness through the neck, the head. And the next time that you spiral forward, right hand will find that block, right leg will lift, left arm to the sky. Bend the knee, catch the foot, and kick up. Chapasana. And then release. No, don't release. Catch the foot again. Fold in. So head and crown of the head and tailbone rather come towards each other, and then slowly unfurl. And into your stork twist. And release. Tadasana. And catch hold of the base of the skull with your right hand. Catch your foot with your left hand, either the outside or the inside. And bring those 2 points towards each other, so crown of the head, tailbone, and then take them away from one another. Bring them towards each other and away. Bring them towards each other, pause. Keep the leg where it is, but lift your chest, reach the crown of the head up. And now keeping the tailbone reaching down, kick the thigh back and the foot back into your hand, reach the right arm to the sky. Natarajasana. And coming in, sensing that energetic line, crown of the head to tailbone. And slowly release. And take a little sway, a little twist, whatever you need to do to rinse that through. And then second side, left hand behind the head, catch the foot with your hand. Soften through that standing leg and then bring crown of the head, tailbone towards each other and send it away. Crown of the head, tailbone come in, a little C curve and send it away. Draw it in, pause. Keep the pelvis, the leg position, but start to unfurl the upper body. Reach up through the crown of the head. And then keep the tailbone reaching down as you start to kick back and up. Left arm reaches to the sky. Again, finding a sense of softening into the shape rather than really trying to force and achieve a shape. And then slowly release. Take what you need. Breathing in, reach your arms to the sky. Hands meet and come down the body. Gaze follows as you roll down. Step the left foot back and toe heel your right foot over to the left. And then bring the shin bone down to the floor, setting up for our pigeon. And you're welcome to take that block underneath the thigh if you need. Once you've got the legs set up, find some movement through the spine. So it might be a snaking motion up and down. It might be just folding in and rising up. But see what your spine wants to express. I quite like the snaky up and down. Again, less about thinking about it, more about feeling it. And then fold in for your pigeon. And so that consistent effort, consistent practice over time changes us subtly day by day, changes structures within the brain, makes us more self-aware, makes us less inclined to overreact, and creates a sense of calmness and evenness, ability to flow with whatever life is bringing us. And let go of that need for control, for perfection. Good. Walk your hands back in. If you're sitting on the block, just move it out of the way so you can rock off and swing your left leg over the right. You're welcome to unwind that bottom leg as well. Hug the knee, and then from your tailbone, rise up the spiral staircase to look behind you. And then come down the spiral staircase to look forward. Rise up the spiral staircase and come down. One more. And we'll stay in the twist for a few breaths. And again, noticing that part that might be rigidly gripping to an external idea of what this shape should look like. And softening and allowing the shape to emerge. And slowly unfurl. Sweep the leg around. And go back to downward facing dog. Then left knee comes in behind the left wrist. Set up for your pigeon on the side. Remember, you can use a block. Once you're in position, let your spine express what it wants to express. That fluid, moving spine. We've got some big muscles along the spine, so lots of places we can hold tension. So this fluid movement really helping to unlock some of those places. And eventually folding in for your pigeon. And slowly walking the hands back in. And taking the block away and rocking off that butt. Just swing your right leg over for your twist. Hug the knee with your left arm, and then from the tailbone, walk up the spiral staircase. And then soften back down. 2 more times, really seeing if you can find a sense of ease with this. So I know on this side I'm a little bit tighter, and there is that tendency to want to push. If you notice that within yourself, can you soften that part and just allow? Nothing that you need to do or achieve. Holding in the twist this time. And again, allowing it to emerge through a softening rather than a forcing. And then unwind. This time bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana. Tuck your chin in and start to roll down. Find a place that feels interesting to stay. And feel the breath moving up and down the length of the spine again. And slowly unfurl. And come back to your Sukhasana like we began, crown of the head on top of the tailbone. That sense of leaning into your back body and feeling the breath traveling up and down from that silvery full moon, the bright red bindi, and back again. And ultimately, all of our asana, our poses, are to lead us to this place for meditation, where the Sushumna Nadi, that central channel, feels clear, where we can sense and feel the movement of the breath, observe the thoughts, the stories, and return to our essence, our remembrance of who we are, the wholeness that we have always been and always will be. Nothing to add to or achieve, because we already are. And that is the greatest lesson of Abhyasa and Vairagya, that we already are. We already are whole. This practice is simply a remembering of that. As we show up consistently again and again, we strip away those layers that prevent us from seeing that. We change structures within the brain, we become more self-aware, better able to manage stress, more connected to our body and our body's rhythms. We let go of the striving, the achieving, the needing to be something else. And we rest into our beingness, our wholeness. You're welcome to stay here in meditation or step your feet onto the floor out in front of you, reach your arms forward. And take a slow roll down the spine, softening the vertebrae, softening the ribs, softening into the mat. Shavasana, the ultimate letting go. And please allow yourself to stay here as long as you need to. And thank you so much for practicing with me. Have a beautiful day. Hari Om Tat Sat.